All right, let's pull back the curtain on something we use every single day but maybe don't really think about. We're talking about the unsung heroes of the internet, all that hardware that quietly works behind the scenes to keep us connected.
I mean, seriously, have you ever just stared at that Wi-Fi router of yours with all its blinking lights and wondered what is actually going on in there? Are they just magic boxes? Well, spoiler alert, it's not magic, and we're about to figure out exactly how it works.
Yeah, they're not just plastic boxes collecting dust. Think of them more like the secret architects of your entire digital life. Each one has a very specific, very important job, and together, they build the foundation for pretty much everything you do online.
So, to really get this, we're going to build a network from scratch. I mean, right from the very beginning. We'll start with just one computer and add one piece at a time.
Okay, so everything, and I mean everything, starts with this little guy, the network interface card, or NIC for short. It's basically your computer's mouth and ears. It's the physical port that lets your computer actually plug in and start a conversation with other devices.
So, a NIC is great for a one-to-one chat. But what happens when you've got your desktop, your laptop, your phone, maybe a printer, and you want them all talking to each other? You need some kind of digital meeting room, right?
And that's where our first piece of gear comes in, the hub. Super simple idea. It's just a box with a bunch of ports. You plug everything in, and bam, you've got a local area network, a LAN. But the way it works is, well, let's just say it's not the brightest bulb in the box.
So, imagine a hub is like someone with a bullhorn in a crowded room. If one computer wants to send a message to another, the hub doesn't bother finding the right person. Nope, it just gets on the bullhorn and screams that message out to everybody connected to it.
And you can probably see where this is going, right? First off, it's not secure at all. Everyone's hearing everyone else's secrets. And second, it's just noisy. All that unnecessary shouting clogs up the whole network and slows everything down to a crawl for everyone. Clearly, we can do better.
And better has a name, the switch. Now, it looks pretty much the same as a hub, but on the inside, it is a whole lot smarter. Instead of shouting, it's more like a private mail carrier. It actually learns where each device lives on the network, and it delivers data only to its intended address. So much more efficient.
All right, so check it out. We've built our own little local network. All our devices are chatting away happily and efficiently thanks to our smart new switch. But right now, we're basically on a private island. How do we build a bridge from this island to the huge, vast ocean of the internet?
For that, you need a very special translator, and that translator is the modem. See, your computer speaks digital, zeros and ones, but the signal coming into your house is often analog. The modem's job, its name literally comes from modulator-demodulator, is to translate between those two languages, back and forth, super fast, so everyone can understand each other. Okay, this is a super important point, so let's lock this in. A switch, that's for connecting devices on the same network, your little island. But a router, that's for connecting different networks together. It's the bridge from your island to the rest of the world. Yeah, you can think of the router as your network's air traffic controller. It's the brains of the operation. It sits between your modem and your switch, looks at every piece of data, checks its IP address, which is like a global street address, and decides where it needs to go. Is it for your laptop, or is it headed for a server halfway around the planet? The router makes that call, billions of times a day.
Okay, so we've met the big players, the switch for local stuff and the router for getting out into the world. But there are a few other specialists, kind of like guest stars, that do very specific, very important jobs. Let's run through them real quick.
So first up, the bridge. Just like its name suggests, it connects two separate local networks that speak the same language. Let's say you have two different office departments on two different LANs. A bridge can link them up so they act like one big network, while still being smart enough to filter traffic that doesn't need to cross over.
You've definitely run into this problem before. You know when your Wi-Fi signal just dies in the back of the house? Well, a repeater is the solution. It grabs that weak, fading signal, cleans it up, regenerates it to full strength, and sends it on its way, good as new. It's just a signal booster, extending the reach of your network.
Okay, so if a bridge connects two similar networks, a gateway is like a universal translator. It connects two networks that are totally different. They follow completely different rules, different protocols. The gateway sits at the gate between them and translates, letting them talk when they otherwise couldn't.
And last but definitely not least, we've got the bouncer, the security guard of your network, the firewall. This can be a physical box or just software, but its job is the same. It stands like a big brick wall between your safe, cozy network and the wild, untrusted internet. It inspects all the data coming and going and blocks anything that looks even a little bit shady.
Whew. Okay, that was a lot of hardware. So let's zoom back out and get the big picture. We're going to put the three main players, the hub, the switch, and the router, side by side to really hammer home what makes each one unique.
This really puts it all in one place. You've got the hub, right? The bullhorn. It's simple, operating on the physical layer, just broadcasting raw data, or bits, to everyone. Then you level up to the switch, the mail carrier. It's smarter, working with data frames and sending them directly to a device's unique MAC address. And then you have the big boss, the router. It's the traffic controller, routing larger data packets between totally different networks using those global IP addresses. From dumb to smart to genius. That's the progression.
And you know, that's really the amazing part. None of these things works alone. They're a team. They're a symphony of hardware working in perfect concert to build this incredible, invisible infrastructure that we live in every single day.
So, the next time you see those little lights blinking away on your router, maybe you won't just see a boring plastic box. Maybe you'll see the whole story. You'll see the translator, the mail carrier, and the traffic controller, all working non-stop to connect your world to, well, the whole world.